I feel like you are so fluent in all of the archetypal language in your work. I'm going to say you have 5 or 6 books that are actually based on classic literature or mythology. Talk about it. Tell us about it.
A lot of fairy tales, a lot of Greek mythology, those sort of, I go back to those frequently. They teach me so much about story, really.
I love adapting existing material, partly because when I have like somebody else's story to build off of, somehow it feels safer for me to start bringing in these personal things.
Absolutely. I teach a class on fairy tales. I start with the fairy tale, pick a fairy tale you're drawn to, right? Why are you drawn to it? And then more and more, I kind of coax people toward in their own experience of why they're drawn to that, because that's what's going to make the fairy tale relevant and alive and meaningful on a deeper level. I mean, that's really important to blend the two things. And you're right, that helps you enter into that deeper relationship with the writing when you have sort of that external story structure.
You're talking about like why the story speaks to you. I feel like this is something I've been hearing a lot from writers that I've been talking to about this, that so much of our anxiety headspace is about it being good and done and also like marketable, sellable. But then so much of what makes writing work is just about finding what you fancy, like finding what gets you up in the morning because you want to explore it more. So at a certain point, it's like you have to almost just give up on the idea that it'll ever be sold. Not you, because you at this point, you I think you have contracts before you even start sometimes, right?
Sometimes.
But the essential process of being a writer is about going, just like following your unconscious motivations towards a story, your urges towards an archetype.
What I try to do is like, what about this story is relevant to me right now? Like an example is I was trying to write a more straightforward story about what's going on right now, and it just wasn't working. Mm-hmm. And then there's a fairy tale called The Blue Light, which is a lesser known Grimm's fairy tale. There's a woman, or actually it's a soldier, it's a man, I made it, a woman gets trapped in this well by this witch because she says, go down to find the blue light. That I can take what I'm feeling about everything going on around me. I can make up a story that combines those things. I'm not sure what that is yet myself, but I see a relationship.
The job is not to resolve the paradoxes. The job is to like illuminate them and tell a good story inside them.
And isn't that the key of like writing, where you don't start with some moralistic idea or something you want to like make somebody believe? It's just naturally you're exploring what you believe. And then hopefully it's something that resonates for them and you learn more about it as you write, and others maybe learn more about it in themselves. Although it's going to be moral in that we're telling it through our lens of how we perceive the world.
But you're right, there shouldn't be any added pressure to have it all figured out. We're masters of this, so now we're going to write about it and teach you versus, I don't know, everyone's drowning. We're just writing about it.
Exactly. Yeah.